Hey y'all, it's your girl, Baby J, Jalen the Alien Mystic Mommy. Okay, you know what I'm saying? My crystal shop is officially dropped. Probably by the time I put this video out, it's gonna be out already. So if you want to see all my beautiful crystals that I have, definitely, and you want to purchase them, definitely check out my link in the description box to my store. And yeah, man, this is blue apatite. This is a stone that's really good for your throat chakra, so that's why I'm using it to really communicate this story as authentically as I possibly can, as you know, beautifully as I can, because we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people are going to be probably open to and a lot of people are not, and just people all over the place. But I'm going to just really have my second coming out experience. I've already had a video on my channel where I talk about opening up about my psychic abilities, but I haven't really made a video talking about alien stuff and like my alien stuff and my starseed stuff. And I think that this is important to do, especially going into, you know, the age of Aquarius, Saturn moving to Aquarius, Jupiter into Aquarius very soon. It's time to go out. It's time to come out. It's time to show people what's out here and what it is. And my truth is that I am an alien, and this is my story of how I figured out my alien roots, and really my first spiritual awakening experience, because I have had two spiritual awakenings in my life. Arguably three, but definitely two. And the first one was definitely about remembering my alien roots. And the second one, which I'm kind of going through this year, 2020, has really been about earth and learning how to earth properly, learning how to human properly, like very, very seriously. Like, I have South Node Pisces in my 4th house, guys. Like, I naturally don't really feel that connected to earth, you know? So 2020 has really been about grounding, getting in tune with nature, getting in tune with the plants and the energy of the plants, learning how to heal my body, getting healthy, going vegan, and really getting in tune with my body. Because for such a long time, going into my spiritual awakening, my first one, for such a long time, I did not feel connected to my body. Because when I was a kid, when I was a child, I could quite easily always leave my body. I would go to sleep and I would just remember leaving my body, flying all around my room, flying all over wherever I wanted to be. And I would just, that's something I used to naturally do. In the waking, when I was like not asleep, I would always hallucinate. You know, I would see things, I would see beings, I would talk to beings, the shadows would move, and I was just always that type of kid. And as a baby, I was just always a very quiet child. I didn't really speak much. My parents always say that I was just the type of kid that was very silent, very quiet. But one thing I would always do would just kind of always study my surroundings. I would always just look around with my big old eyes and study my surroundings and trying to take everything in. And I was always insanely shy. I was so shy. I did not like doing anything. Like, I was just very shy. I didn't like communicating, but I was very sensitive, right? I was very sensitive, imaginative, and naturally just connected to the spiritual realm, psychic ability, very early on. And also synchronicities, experiencing synchronicities and stuff of that nature. Like, one person would say the word cat, my mom would say cat, the radio would say cat, the TV would say cat, 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 and I would see it in a book, boom, boom, boom. This would happen to me like weekly, daily. You know, synchronicity was just part of my life even before I even knew what it was. I thought it was something that was normal. And then one experience that I had kind of scooting along, I was in the 3rd grade, and basically I had this experience one day where I went to my best friend at the time's birthday party, and we were just all playing around. You know, there was adults there, but all the kids were there, and we went to this like Arnold's, it's like a go-kart place, you know, and they had like laser tag there. So I go into the laser tag room, and I'm just, you know, getting excited, and I'm just playing around with the lasers and, you know, shooting everyone, da 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 da. And, you know, everything is kind of like spacey looking in there. It's dark, it's spacey looking, and like there's rocks and stuff of that nature, right, in the go-kart, in the laser tag place. And then I had a moment, which now I kind of know was my first awakening experience, but I had it at such a young age that I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know how to process it. But I just had a moment when I was just right there, and I was just like, oh my God. I looked at my hands, I felt disconnected from my hands, and everything around me just felt not real. Everything felt fake. Everything felt fake. Everything felt like it was a movie. And it was an overwhelming feeling of, this is not my body. This is not my surroundings. What is this? And I just felt so disconnected all of a sudden with who my body was and who I was as a person and everyone around me. And the feeling was so surreal that I almost thought I was about to pass out. So I told somebody, I was like, I think I'm gonna pass out right now. I just feel airheaded, like I don't know what's going on. And then everybody's like, oh my God. So they take me outside and I'm just kind of freaking out. I'm experiencing anxiety because I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to process this. So then everybody's trying to calm me down. The adults are trying to calm me down, but I never passed out. And ever since, that feeling didn't go away for quite a long time. It lasted for years. Years I felt disconnected from my body. Years I would look at my face in the mirror and I didn't recognize that person. It just felt like I didn't belong here. And I always kind of gravitated and known this feeling of feeling disconnected from Earth, feeling like I didn't necessarily resonate with Earth and its dense energy. And I didn't know what to do with that. And for such a long time, I was so quiet. I didn't want to go out to places that were so loud and too much was going on, and if it was dark and stuff of that nature, because when I was in those type of environments, it would just be too much energy, and I would get an overwhelming feeling of that, what I would, find to be called depersonalization and depersonalization disorder, which basically is a disorder that I got diagnosed with and I had to get therapy for, which is about kind of, you feel disconnected from your surroundings and everything around you doesn't feel real. It feels like a movie. It feels fake. And obviously you're not crazy, you're not insane, you can talk, you can communicate, you know who you are, but you just don't, it feels like you're working on autopilot. Like, it just feels like you're disconnected from everything around you. A lot of people experience depersonalization for little fleeting moments in their life, and then there's some people that they'll experience it for a very long time and it won't quite go away. Usually that's because they have traumatic experiences or they do drugs, and it just triggers the depersonalization because it's like your brain is trying to protect you from those traumatic experiences by dissociating from it so you don't have to feel those painful emotions. But I never consciously, at least, went through anything that was traumatic, so that feeling had came from nowhere, and it came out of nowhere, and it was just a sudden awakening that there is more to me than just this physical body. And I didn't know how to process that just at such a young age, so I developed anxiety around it. And anytime where I experienced that feeling full on, I would just avoid situations like that altogether. So it got to a point where I didn't even go outside like that. Like, I didn't go outside and really hang out like that because it was just too much. And I had to work my way into being a normal kid and going out to parties and stuff of that nature because I just didn't feel comfortable with it. It was too much energy. It was always overwhelming. I kind of calmed down and I was able to get into my body a little more, not all the way, but it kind of got better through time and space. Then this was when I was about to graduate. I went to high school, and I went to high school in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, my graduating class literally was probably 30 people, no cap. Like, around 30 people, no cap. I went to a very small private school, boarding school in the middle of, like, nowhere, in the middle of Maryland, you know what I'm saying? And I was there, all the time. But it was a very old school, so there's a lot of spirits around that school, and I would spend my time connecting to spirits, and I always would have these crazy experiences. I made a story about that too on my channel, where I just had all these like psychic experiences at my dorm, haunted experiences, and I was just always obsessed with the stars and astrology. That's why I fell in love with astrology. And I would go around, listen to documentaries and movies, and I would just go outside trying to find ghosts, trying to find spirits, and trying to just connect to the unseen realm more and more till I got to a place. But I was always scared. I was always nervous. I had a deep obsessive fascination, but I was always scared. And it was because I have Pluto conjunct my ascendant. It's in the first house, but it's also on that line very close to the 12th, where it's like I had this fear and almost phobia with everything that was kind of tied to the unseen realms at the same time. So I think I have some trauma from wherever I was from. But to speed things along, I graduated from that school. Like I said, I have plenty of stories. If you want me to talk about the stories again of like all my crazy stories in, school, high school and stuff of that nature, then I can. So I graduated high school and I was just living my life, and I always had a poster in my room of Hollywood. So I kind of put it on my vision board that I wanted to go to school in LA, so I ended up going to college in LA. And I would say a month or so before I actually went to California to go to LA to go to school, I had this, I don't know where I learned about moldavite. I don't know how I learned about moldavite, which is a crystal, it's a tektite, right? And I didn't know where I learned about it, but I just had this crazy fascination with moldavite. I was obsessed with moldavite. I would read about it, I would watch every video about it, which wasn't that much at the time because it wasn't as popular of a crystal that it is now. It's still low-key, but it's still way popular than it was when I first heard about it, and I was obsessed with it. I would look at all the stories and all the articles, and basically what it is, a comet crashed in the Czech Republic at like literally millions and millions of years ago, and the impact that it created with the earth created this little crystal called moldavite. And I might put a clip of it right now, and I'm actually selling moldavite on my shop, so check it out. But moldavite was this crystal, and it was known for having such beautiful, huge, crazy, potent energy that when people touched it, they would have these flushes, and they would have these like crazy energetic experiences. And it was known as the transformational stone, so it was almost like you would feel moldavite, and you would get a moldavite crystal, and it would speed up your intuition, it would speed up your transformation so that you can get to your life's purpose, and it would clear out anything that no longer served, and would open up everything. And a lot of people also said that it was good for ETs, so like extraterrestrial contact and space stuff, you know, because it's literally a substance, it's literally comes from space and it comes to the ground, and you made this beautiful rock. And I was like, I loved it. I was obsessed with it. So I went to go get a piece, and I think I got a fake piece, and I was like, everybody was been talking about this moldavite and nothing has happened. Like, I put it in my hand, I didn't feel anything. But I didn't give up. I did not give up. I continued to search for this crystal, and I tried one more time, and I got a crystal online from a reputable source. And and this was actually when I first got to California. Before I actually officially moved into my dorm in California, my parents came down. We were staying in a hotel because we had to kind of stay to get in tune with the area, to check things out. And I had ordered the crystal to come to the hotel because I was just so excited. I did not want to wait. So I ordered the crystal, and literally, like, when I got to the hotel, a couple days and staying in the hotel, I had this dream, right? And I was just dreaming, and I was seeing all these crystals, and I just saw a bunch of weird stuff, and it was just crazy. And I woke up from that dream, I look outside, I see a FedEx truck in the distance, and I just knew instantly, oh, that's my moldavite, that's my crystal. And then 5 minutes later, I get a call from the front desk. Hey Jalen, your crystal is downstairs. Do you want us to bring it up to you? And I was like, yes, thank you so much. And my parents actually were somewhere else, and I was just in the room alone. I think they were in the other side of the room, but I was in the bathroom. And a couple minutes go by, and my crystal is in the palm of my hand, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm excited. So I open up the box, and I see this little green rock, and I'm like, okay, this is really tiny. Okay. And I put it in the palm of my hand. I put it in my left hand. I don't know, I put it in my right hand, and I didn't really feel anything. And I was like, are you serious? Did they lie again? And I just gave it a chance. I calmed down, I gave it a chance, and I just closed my eyes. And then all of a sudden, in the palm of my hands, I felt this pulsating heat, and I was like, oh my God. So then the heat just spreads down my arm, and it goes all over my body, and the energy was overwhelming that it literally made my heart have an orgasm. And I was just like, oh my God. I felt this rush of energy, and I was like, oh my God, rocks have energy. But after that moment, nothing was the same. When I went to college, I literally went through it. I went through it all at once. Moldavite is no joke, but it does what it says. It was the most transformative experience of my life. I was alone, my family was gone, and I was by myself. I was in a relationship that sucked booty tail. I got cheated on. I was heartbroken. I dumped that person. All my gifts opened up at the same time. I'm talking every gift that you could ever think of. I experienced all of it. Clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairaudience, clairempathy, okay, seeing auras, hearing aliens, being able to smell stuff that wasn't there. Everything opened up all at once, and it was the most crazy experience of my life. Like, I have so many moments where I was like suicidal, I was depressed, I was having all these weird experiences that I didn't know what was going on, and I had so much fear because I grew up in a very religious household that, you know, my mom's side was very religious, and anything that was magical and crazy and stuff of that nature, they was like, it's demonic. So then I had that subconscious fear at the same time, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going crazy, this is too much, I don't know what's going on, I think I'm losing my mind. And I remember one time I took my Motivite crystal and I sat down and laid down in my bed, and I just put it on my eye, my third eye, and then I was just like, show me where I come from. So I get into a deep meditative space, and all of a sudden I just see this planet. It was this huge, vast planet, and it looked almost like a black hole, but you could see it because on the outside outline of it, it was like this subtle glow, so you could see the blackness of it. And then there was this fire kind of, or this fiery stuff on the outside of this black hole looking planet thing, and it was huge and it was bustling, and these things were flying by, and they were like zoom, zoom. They didn't say anything with words, but they spoke with frequency, and I knew exactly what they said. And I woke up from that place, and I was like, oh shit, I don't come from here. Like, wherever that was a real place. I was just there, and I just saw my original planet. Okay, cool, like, you know, we're just gonna take that in, because literally at the time it was just so much happening. Like, I was seeing spirits, feeling energy, waking everything up, and it was a very scary experience. Like, my spiritual awakening was very, very scary for me. There was times, every time I would go to sleep, I felt like I was like about to go somewhere and leave my body so much. I had so much fear, so I would literally not want to sleep. I was getting 2 hours of sleep at some point, and I was trying to also get through college, and I was going through the heartbreak and the breakup, and I was alone. My family was not with me, and I just felt so lonely. But it was within that loneliness where I truly got to discover myself, and everything that was inauthentic to who I was, I let it go. I let it go. I chopped it out of my life. I cut it through, and I had to learn how to survive and live with that feeling of loneliness, feeling like nobody truly understood who I was, feeling like I was just disconnected from my surroundings and my body, and I was just unusual. I didn't have many friends, and I just didn't mesh well with humans. I've never really meshed well with humans. I always kind of felt like I just can't connect fully. I'm not all the way there. I just can't resonate with what people were talking about, and I've always kind of felt like the outsider. Within my time and going through all that, I discovered my gifts, like I said, and I learned who I truly was, and I learned what my true passions were, and I understood who I was. And that's when I got really deeply into astrology. I got very deeply into numerology, all forms of spirituality, and I really opened up to my gifts, where I learned that I could heal with energy, and I could move and bend fire. Like, I bend fire sometimes on my my Instagram, Jalen. You know, I post stories of me bending fire and stuff of that nature, and just, I got into it, and I really kind of remembered who I was, my gifts, my power, my energy. Like, guys, we have superpowers. We're supernatural. We can do whatever the mind can conceive of. And then, you know, I just got to this point where I discovered who I was, and it was to the point where the realm between this realm and the other realm was so thin all the time that my dreams, especially around full moons, and I'm a full moon bleeder, so especially around the full moons, I would just be so open to that, and my psychic stuff would just be crazy open. And then it would be so crazy to the point where every time I would get into an airplane, especially at night, I would see these little red things zoom by next to the airplanes, and I would hear the frequency. No one else could hear it, obviously, but I could hear the frequency in my ears, and it would just be like, I can't even verbalize it, but it would just be this frequency that I would hear, and I would see the beings, and it freaked me the hell out a little bit, and I even gonna hold you. But now I've gotten to the point where I've come to be at peace with it. And I've also understood that the feeling of depersonalization disorder was not just this disorder, but it was something within me that was an awakening experience. And it was this experience that reminded me that, yeah, you are more than just this physical body. And it feels weird because it is weird that you're here, but you came here for a purpose, and you came here to really touch a lot of people, heal a lot of people, and to heal yourself and to release traumas from your own being. So that I did. I came here and I incarnated here to do such a thing. And I came here to spread knowledge and gifts and to show people and to enlighten people and to be like, listen, y'all are super human and super powerful, supernatural beings. And some of y'all, if y'all really resonate with this energy, this story, you guys are not just human. You guys are supernatural. You are Starseed. I don't know exactly what my brand of Starseed is. Like, I don't know how to call it, but I don't know like what exactly it is. All I know is I am a starseed and I'm from another place. I have people told me things and stuff, but it hasn't quite resonated deeply. All I know is a part of me doesn't feel connected to Earth and a big part of me doesn't, but I've come to peace with that. One of the biggest confirmations for me was when I had that depersonalization experience. Now it would come randomly because I stopped being in this depersonalized state, and I kind of slowly but surely been learning how to ground to Earth. It really hit home in 2020, but that whole experience since then has really been about learning how to be a part of Earth and learning how to human correctly and to not just be on autopilot, but to have true emotional experiences and to truly connect, right? One of the experiences that really hit it home for me was when I actually met another alien, and I had the craziest experience. Oh my God, like I had the craziest experience meeting this person, meeting this being, and experiencing that truly starseed energy where it's like shape-shifting. I'm not even gonna say everything that happened right here in this video. I'm gonna leave that for another video, like, because I already told y'all I'm gonna show y'all that story too. But literally, like, crazy. I don't feel super depersonalized all the time, but I don't have anxiety from it. I understand it. I understand that it was just an onset awakening, you know, like experience, and I was really young, so I didn't know how to process it. But you know, it is what it is. And you know, sometimes when I get that really heavy awareness of my depersonalization, it'll be when I start to channel. I've had experiences before where I was talking to people and I really started to feel them, and then all of a sudden, like, I would get that depersonalization experience, and people would literally told me like, yo, like, I swear your face just changed a little bit, and as you were speaking you had a different tone of voice, like. And then I remember vividly there was one experience where I was walking outside and I was about to go to Ralph's, you know, that's a grocery store in LA, to get, you know, something from the grocery store at late at night. And this lady, she was in distress and she was crying and she was, you know, just going through it. And she came up to me and she was like, how are you so together? Your energy, how do you do that? And she was just staring at me and saying, how are you like that? Your walk, your grace. And I just told her, I don't even know what I said to her, but I felt that feeling come over me. And I just told her something. She instantly felt better and she started crying with relief. And I don't even know what I said, but I gave her a hug and I was just like, it's okay. But that thing will channel me sometime, and that being will channel me, and my higher self, whatever you want to call it. And I'll literally be able to channel message and deliver messages to other people and stuff of that nature. And that's kind of where, you know, that depersonalization comes in, where I kind of depersonalize and get out of my body, and I kind of, you know, my higher self takes over, my alien self takes over to be H. But you know, that's that story. And like I said, now I'm currently 2020, I'm going through my second spiritual awakening. where it has nothing to do with aliens and spaceships and crazy stuff, psychic abilities, being able to see things, visions, shapeshift, and all the crazy stuff that I've experienced in my life. It's all about Earth. This spiritual awakening that I'm in right now is about Earth. It's about learning how to human correctly, learning how to take care of my body. Like really take care of my health, take care of my body, take care of my daily routine, daily activities, the Virgo type stuff, right? North of Virgo. Learning how to really connect to the daily grind and getting really realistic and earth, and taking care of my hair, understanding the power of my hair, and that my hair is just an extension of my crown, and the crown is your ability to channel energy and to get in tune with your higher consciousness. So like taking care of my hair, loving my beautiful 4C hair that is currently covered right now, but loving my hair, taking care of my hair, nursing it to health, and falling in love with my body, stretching more, yoga more, okay, nature, going vegan. I went vegan this year because I really started to take a great deal of my body and recognizing the beauty of Earth. I love the ocean. I stare at the ocean, I start crying because for some reason it's just so beautiful to me. So yeah, currently this is my second spiritual awakening. I'm gonna make more videos about that, so if you want to learn more about it, like you have any questions with veganism and stuff and my whole journey with that, like comment down below and we can talk about it and we can make videos about it and stuff. But yeah, y'all, that's my first experience talking about my alien thing and like how I kind of figured out that I was a starseed and that I am in fact an alien. And when I say Jalen the alien, I don't use that term lightly. I mean that with my whole chest. I mean that with my whole heart, my whole being. I have no reason to lie. I am an alien. And if you probably made it to the end of this video, you probably are one too. It's gonna take a lot of courage to post this. Please like this video. Please like it up. Show some love in the comments. And yeah, y'all, like for real, get ready. Saturn Aquarius, okay, Jupiter Aquarius, and especially, I cannot wait till Jupiter goes into Pisces. I'm natal Jupiter in Pisces. I can't wait. It's gonna, this energy and these awakenings are gonna continue to happen. So yeah, happy awakening, y'all. And I hope y'all are doing good during this beautiful year, crazy year of 2020. Sending you nothing but love, happiness, peace, and understanding, and wisdom, and abundance. Ashe, amen. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful night, day, wherever you are. Mwah. Much love.